So, what is clairgustance? So, it's a good question because we have six senses, and there are quite common six senses where we say we know about the seeing, we know about the hearing, we know about the smelling, we know about the knowing. But clairgustance is the tasting. So, to be able to taste what the spirit world is giving you, and that's something that's quite unique in people's mediumship. But one thing is, you could be using clairgustance without even knowing it. You maybe just be giving messages, and all of a sudden you're experiencing a taste of something, and you just need to say it. So that could be happening naturally already. So it's really clairgustance is that ability to taste whatever the spirit world is giving you. So you may be able to taste people's recipes or their favorite things that they cooked, or it may be apple pie, that may be sponge cake, that may be something with cream, that may be fresh made lemonade. All these things are possible to receive through the taste. So welcome everyone. It's nice to see your hellos, and it's nice to have you with me. So clairgustance is, like I said, it's a unique side to it. It can be working alongside your clairvoyance or your clairsentience. So you might be feeling spirit, seeing spirit, bringing through information, but all of a sudden, clairgustance can move in where you can taste something that the spirit world gives you. So it's happened in the past because if you're a really good cook yourself in real life, it can be possible that the spirit world give you almost the recipe of what something tastes like, and that's what they do with me. So somebody's just written, what is it like when you taste something horrible like blood, and what does it mean? If you're receiving that from the spirit world, I'm not sure. It depends whether you're connected to the spirit world and you've been practicing mediumship for a long time. It could mean that somebody was a boxer, or that somebody, so you might be tasting that. But it's the feeling behind what you're tasting. You see, it's not something that happens usually. Let's say that way. So it's so that's something that you could look at yourself, like what is the feeling behind the taste. And that's the thing with, like, if I taste somebody's apple pie from the spirit world, and it's because I used to be a chef, I can taste the ingredients that were in every part. So I'll taste that it was brown sugar, it could be demerara sugar, I could taste cinnamon in it, I could taste what sort of apples were in it. Were they green apples? Were they red apples? What sort of apples were they? Were they Cox's? Were they Granny Smith's? So it's learning to use the taste. And because I've been a chef, and many of you might be very good cooks, so you would know how things taste. So in that way, I've managed to bring through information where I've managed to find out where somebody lives. They lived in Italy because I tasted Italian food, or I knew that people had been on holiday to Greece because I tasted the Greek food. So in that way, the taste can take you to different countries. It can take you to different things. It can open up your mediumship to a lot more. And we're not just then concentrating on what we see, what we feel, or what we hear. We're opening up our mediumship now to more. And when you open your mediumship out to more, you may even get the taste of somebody's recipe book. So when I taste somebody's pastry, I know they were a good pastry chef. I know if they were making a stew, what ingredients were in it, and that sort of thing. So that's how the ability of clairgustance can open up for you. And it may be that leads on to the knowing that there's a recipe book left behind, and somebody would have that. So in that way, it's good to play with the clairgustance. Now, there was a time when I practiced clairgustance, and I got the taste of stale, false teeth, and it didn't taste nice. So I had to mention, I know this person I haven't got false teeth, by the way, so it was the first time I ever tasted that. I said, well, I just know this person had false teeth, and I know that it would have been, they would have taken some cleaning. They everything was correct. But just imagine that all of a sudden, oh, I'm tasting these false teeth. It's not exactly what I was looking for, but it's worth saying whenever you're working. So you're working with the clairvoyance and you're bringing through the information. How did I know that? I think because I've worked with people with false teeth before, and I recognized the smell. So when I tasted that, it was like, oh, I'm tasting false teeth. So it's quite funny, and it was like almost the feeling within the mouth that took place as well. So that's how I knew that. But thanks for asking that question. So it's quite remarkable what you can taste. You might even taste somebody's favorite sweets. Oh, it was funny. You should have seen my face like when that happened. Oh my God, stale tasting false teeth. No, I haven't got false teeth, so I would never know what that would taste like. But like I said, I have been around false teeth, and I have sort of had the smell of what false teeth can taste like before they're scrubbed. So it was a bit of a shocking experience, but I can tell you it's worth opening up your mediumship to new things, because then you know without a shadow of a doubt somebody has false teeth. You know with a shadow. There were sometimes I was connecting to people that were from different countries, and I managed to get through. So I managed to get through that possibility of getting the information from spirit through the tasting. One time I got a recipe that was made in Japan that I wouldn't even know. So all I knew is how it tasted. So I mentioned all the things that went into it, how it looked, and they said yes, that was their favorite recipe. But I had no idea what it was called, because I could never pronounce Japanese. So that's something that you can see how, because people are like, oh, Clairgustance, why should I spend time on that? But how about that, bringing through somebody's favorite dish that was made in Japan that you've never tasted yourself? Or even in some cultures I've brought through, in Indonesian cultures, I've brought through some dishes made in a certain way, told them about the flavors, tastings, the way it was made, that they were in earthen dishes, because after the tasting moved on to clairvoyance. And in that way, you don't need to know the name of the dishes, you just know that they were there. And there was also another time when I got somebody from Holland, and I got a sort of, it was like a special, from a special province in Holland. There was a special sort of applepie pie that would be made. And it had, I didn't know the name. I mentioned the ingredients that were in it, and they were like, yeah, that's this and this. That's a speciality from this district, which I've never even tasted. So that's the thing. You can taste things that you may not have even tasted. So to open up to this, it's very good. It's very good to do that. I see that someone says, I keep getting coconut and almonds. It was a friend, a friend. Okay, that's good. Yeah. So when you see what's the possibilities are with receiving information through the taste, you can get the whole recipe. Yeah, you can get false teeth. You could probably get the taste of sweets. So they used to, you could almost feel in your mouth that they were hard candy sweets or mints, or whether they like savory food or not so savory food, what sort of things, dumplings, stew. I know I'm going to make you all hungry, but that's Clairgustance for you. And it's like a remarkable thing to bring in, because when we say we shouldn't bring through mothers or grandmothers that are in the kitchen, but if you can bring through their favorite recipe, then that's perfect. And you say, oh, and I know there was a recipe book, and I know they would make their short crust pastry like this, and I know that they would have, they used to like making quiche Lorraine. I know they gratinated 2 or 3 different types of cheese on it. I know one was red Leicester and one was cheddar. being able to bring that information through, guys and girls, that this is like a wonderful thing and ability to be able to do. And unless you stretch yourselves, you'll never be able to do it. So, and polos, that's also something I brought through polos this one time. I said, I've got this funny feeling and taste in my mouth. I know somebody like polos. I see that someone's saying humbugs and rivers and polo mints, my nan's favorite sweets. So there you go. There's me mentioning these things, and it's bringing back memories of your own people in the spirit world. So if you have an experience with your mediumship, with a certain food, a certain taste, a certain recipes, and you're good at cooking, ask the spirit world to bring something unique. Because like I said, Italian food could take you to Italy, and before you know it, Greek food could take you to Greece. French food might take you to France. It might even take you to Paris. It's very interesting how the different foods can take us to different countries. One type of food might take you to Indonesia. It's taken me to Japan. How about that? Traveling the world through clairgustance, tasting what the spirit world can bring. So I hope this is inspirational for you in your circles. And what I'd like you to do is practice it. Just go out there and try to be a little bit more out of the box and practice and see what recipes you can pick up. Thank you.